Actor playwright Wallace Shawn of My Dinner with Andre and Princess Bride fame says that it is a choice to get involved, but more, it's a choice to care and even think about the way that things are set up these days. It's a choice he's consistently made, though, and it's changed his life. Author of such enigmatic plays as The Fever, The Designated Mourner, and Aunt Dan and Lemon, Haymarket Press have just published a book of Shawn's essays called, reasonably enough, Essays. It's a great opportunity to welcome Wallace Shawn back to our studios at GRITtv. Thanks for coming in.
So great to be here.
Congratulations on the book, Essays. It's a beautiful and handy pocket volume, but it contains pretty deep stuff. Where did the idea for compiling these essays come from?
It was really my friends, Anthony Arnove and Brenda Coughlin. They thought that these pieces that they'd read in different places should be collected. And I was shocked at first and rather quickly got used to the idea.
Did you think after the fact, seeing all of these writings about very diverse topics, that really there did end up being a theme? Did you reveal something to yourself in the collecting?
Well, I was thinking about that, obviously, and I did sort of rewrite everything in a way in order to make it into a book that makes sense. And I suppose, there's, as we say in the theater, there's a subtext. That means, there's a text that is underneath what is being said, and there is a bit of an autobiographical subtext that somehow I was brought up in a very gentle and privileged way with very liberal parents who were what you would call centrist people, and that's what I was. And I suppose the implications of their very decent thoughts rose up by the time I was 40 and made me into a 60s radical in the 80s.
You describe a moment with your father where you were both observing somebody in the street and you have quite different reactions, and it seems like a bit of a turning point. Talk about it.
Well, I describe this moment in the book in which there was a miserable-looking person in the street whom I found funny. He was a funny-looking child of my own age. And as I often was at that time, riding in a taxi with my father. And I laughed when I saw this kid, and then I saw that my father had burst into tears when he saw the same sight. He was also crying, probably because of my nasty, uncompassionate reaction. And he was a very sensitive person, and he really did have compassion for a wide range of human beings. And if you want to say, what did that mean or how did that relate to the book, the compassion that both of my parents felt for people whom they could see on the street and whom they met, if you take that compassion literally and extend it to everybody, then you have to become more politically radical than they actually were.
Do you think it's accurate to say it's a choice, per se? Do you feel like you made a choice to go back and think again about these things and to choose to be concerned? Or is it just the fate of your chemical makeup?
Well, that is a scientific question that I can't answer. I mean, I know in my own case, my thoughts were changed a lot by meeting people, some who challenged my complacency, just challenged my cheerfully complacent attitude to life, really, almost in the way that my father did in his more emotional way. And I was also changed by traveling and by reading. Reading probably more than anything, but of course, why do we read things? It's usually because friends or people we are drawn to or care about recommend the book.